Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to my channel. I am Coach Sherry. I'm in my vehicle, so this is car chat and all that. Listen, you may see me periodically go like this because I have on a new eyeliner. I've been putting eyeliner on since I was in the 11th grade, since 1986, literally. And I use a different brand almost every time. I can never remember which type of eyeliner I like. I just know it has to be waterproof. And this is a brand new one. I got it yesterday and it is irritating my eyes so much. Ooh, it feels like I have like contact lenses in or something, like something is really irritating it. And I know it's the liner. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today, not at all. So have you ever heard someone say a word and you're like, yeah, you woke up and you said, I'm gonna say that word today? Well, that word for me today is intuitive. I was thinking about it on my way here and, just intuitiveness. And I was thinking about my mother and how intuitive she was. And I am so grateful that she was so intuitive. As a parent, especially as a mother to daughters, you hope that the lessons that you've learned in life, good, bad, and indifferent, that you share with them as they go through their life, that they take heed to it, that they really understand what you're saying and are able to navigate around those barriers that may come up. And I am so fortunate that I learned how intuitive my mother was when I was in 3rd grade. And that's a whole nother story for another day, when I had this this crazy bicycle accident that it's just a whole nother story for another day. But when it happened, and because my mother had said something to me prior to it, I was like, when I got home, I looked at her. I didn't say anything because I probably didn't know what to say at the age of 8. Look, here we go. I didn't know what to say. But I looked at her like, this woman knows what she's talking about. If she tells me to stop, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. And so from 3rd grade on, I don't know what happened prior to 3rd grade, if this was still my situation, but I do know 3rd grade on, I listened to my mother because she was very intuitive. Now, my mother wasn't one to always try and tell you what to do or what not to do. But if she felt some kind of way, she definitely would let you know. And I really appreciate that, And because I respected the things that she shared with me, the things that she was feeling, her intuition, even if I didn't right away stop or, not do it, I would be more cautious going through it. So I do remember, one of my boyfriends, yes, one of my boyfriends, but one of my boyfriends in high school, and he actually lived in a different town, and my mother, and dad, my mother and father allowed him to come to the house to visit. Neither one of us had our license or anything like that. But I remember one day my mother pulled me into another room, and it was just her and I in the house, but she was in one room and she just called me to the room and I went to it. And, she was like, sit down, I want to talk to you for a minute. And I was like, okay, what's up? And she said, I know the young man that you're dating and you like him. He seems to like you, but I feel some kind of way about him. I don't know much about him in terms of, his life outside of when he comes to visit, but there's just something about him that I don't think is right for you. I'm not telling you not to date him because I don't want you to sneak and try to date. Because, as a teenager, if your parents tell you not to date someone, so, she's like, I'm not going to tell you not to date him, but I'm just letting you know I have a feeling that there's just something not right, that he's not right for you. Not saying he's not a good young man, but I just don't think he's right for you. So I was like, okay, and I'm thinking, how would she know him? He lives in a different town. And I just was wondering, but I definitely wasn't like, what are you talking about? Why would you say that? Blah, blah, blah. Because I learned in third grade at 8 years old, and here I'm now, fast forward, I'm 16 years old. So I definitely was like, okay. And and so after a while, not too much longer, I started seeing some things about him, some of the things he was saying, some of the things he was doing, that I was like, oh, no, this is not for me. And so I did break up with him. And I'm not sure if my mother didn't share her feelings about him, if I would have broke up with him from the things that did appear. So I'm grateful that my mother did share her feelings. So, this is a message to the mothers. If you feel some kind of way, and to the fathers, if you feel some kind of way about the person that your son or daughter are dating, definitely, share it with them. You're not telling them to break up, but just share your feelings. I tell my kids stuff all the time about things, and I'm not telling them to adhere to it right away, but I'm just like, listen, I'm just telling you this because when you find out for yourself, or if someone else messages it to you and you receive it, you'll know you heard it from me first. So that's one of the reasons why I definitely share things with my children. But intuitiveness. So my mother was a wonderful woman. I'm telling you, she was definitely the first real life career coach that I've ever encountered in my life. I mean, the things that she shared with people, the way that they felt after they had conversations with her, was unbelievable. She was remarkable, a phenomenal businesswoman, an extraordinary networker, definitely a role model that I had the pleasure to not only know, but to be raised by. And she was very intuitive. And so I'm thinking back, a lot of women that are my age, I'll be 55 this month, double nickel, what, this month. And I have been married 29 years. In February, it will be 30 years. And so there are a lot of women that I know that are in the same age bracket, that's been married, 25 plus years, and they are going through some things, here lately, I've been, meeting many women that are not meeting, but I know many women that are in the process of, leaving their spouse, getting a divorce, separation, what have you. And it's not that I'm not new to that. In my husband's previous career, the divorce rate is 80%, so I know people that have gotten divorced, trust. But, now that we're, middle age, I guess. You want to, middle age, that sounds so old, but it doesn't feel old. So for those of you that are not here yet, trust, it does not feel old. But, yeah, we are in our middle age, and have been married for a quarter of a century and plus. And some women are waking up and are like, nope, not going, And I think it's so interesting, because I'm not sure, I can't speak on the spouse's side. There's always three sides to a story, but I can't speak on the spouse's side of what's going on. Why is the man, or what is the man doing or not doing? How is he viewing the wife or not? But there's something going on. And I just remember, one of the reasons why my husband was the one, and trust, I have dated some phenomenal men that I would hold the same candle to, because they were all great, but my husband was the greatest and the best for me. And I know why. I don't just say that. It's not like, in the moment, the passion, what he could give me. It's everything. He's everything, and has always been. And yes, as we get older, things start to change. And unfortunately for him, the changes come from his previous profession, which has afforded us the lifestyle that we live. And while we were in it, it was good. We always knew that something could happen, in terms of changes, but we didn't know what. And you don't really want to own that, but that there's going to be something physically, mentally, something. And so we are experiencing that. And some of the women that I speak with, they are experiencing some mental, emotional changes. And they just are not willing to work through it. So they're stepping, And, if you really think about your wedding vows, my wedding was remarkable. And actually I need to find where I can get the VHS tape of it converted to something that we can look at like on our devices or our television, something that's more like digital, because every year we used to always look at our video. It's a little challenging now, I can imagine, because so many people are no longer here. We had 400 people come to our wedding, and even, my husband and I always talk about it because it was a great day. It was not just the wedding, but the marriage and everything that it produced, And so when you say your wedding vows, if you aren't married yet, if you're getting ready to get married, if you're newly married, if you've been married, either way, always remember your vows, for better, for worse, richer or poorer, to death do us part. You said those vows to God, hopefully that he blessed it, and that's why premarital counseling is so important, because it helps you to work through things that you may not have considered, finances, whose money, what money, where's the money, how is it going to be, family, how many kids, what kids, where, when, where to live, just a lot of things. And personally, I am a lot. I am. And I love being a lot. That's just who I am. And my husband has accepted the lot that I am. And, for our entire marriage, he has been very supportive in everything that I want to do. I am an independent partner. So I thrive in a partnership, working together, doing things together, having businesses together and things of that nature. But I also thrive on being independent and having my own business, my own life outside of. And my husband has always respected that. He has always supported that. And I'm so grateful to that, anything that I ever needed or wanted, I got, and I'm grateful for that. When we were caring for my mother, and my mother always loved my husband always loved my mother. He actually used to call her Queen Moms. He felt she was royal. He felt that she was deserving of all great things, and that because she was such a great woman, he literally calls her Queen Moms all the time. He just was like, yo, she's like, first lady, she's the queen, and she looked at him as a son and always treated him as a son. Whatever she would do for my brothers, she would do for my husband. My husband was there every step of the way with the care for her. He did more for her than any man I've ever heard of to do for a mother. He was gentle with her and treated her like she was his own mom. And his mother is alive, and they have a wonderful relationship too. And he never, put one over the other with that either. With my mother, I think, especially seeing us now, all along, years and years ago, my mother used to always say, your husband is your soulmate. Y'all are each other's soulmate. And I mean, I knew it, I could feel it and everything. But she said it because she's very intuitive. She can see how we worked and rocked together, how we both supported one another together and individually. But I think even her saying that we were soulmates meant even that much more when we were caring for her to me, because she said it, like a few weeks before she passed, she was like, he's your soulmate. Like, it's almost, she saw us go through the most challenging thing, which was stopping our world to be in a place that we never thought we would be in, and caring for her, which was one of the hardest things we've ever had to do, beyond a real estate development, beyond, moving to different states, beyond being on a team and, start keeping your starting spot, beyond anything we've ever been through. That was the most challenging things. And I do know that greater people would have given up. Greater people would not have stopped their world. Greater people would not have stuck together through it. He easily could have said, well, you could be there up there, but I'm staying down here. But he knew that I needed his support along with our children, to give me that balance. So I wish somebody would talk about him. So I remember those things. My mother has been gone now for, it's been 12 years. I can't believe it. It feels like yesterday. It really does. And, when she passed, we were halfway through, because we're at almost 30 now. So that's almost half of now. And I don't forget those things. And I feel like when you are married, you have to have those moments, those times when you have to remember certain things, because that's who you married. That's why I always say you have to like and love, because if you don't like the person that you are married to, when things go awry, that love is fleeting. There's a thin line between love and hate. But if you have that like right there, if you have that like as a barrier, as a buffer, because that's a good person. So I'm saying all this to say, we all have intuition and we need to exercise it. So before we take those steps, when I'm talking to these women that are, in the process of leaving, have left or gone, whatever, and I'm like, where did it go wrong? Where was that left turn that should have been right? And they say, it's always been like this. He's always been like this. I saw signs of it before we got married, but I did it anyway. I thought that he was the best for me, that the best I could ever get, just whatever. Those are intuitive moments where they should have taken heed to it. If you feel in your heart and soul that the person you're about to walk down the aisle with, the person that you're about to say I do to, if you are feeling that this is not right, he's not right, she's not right, don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, I'm talking about these people have been married 25 plus years. That's a long time. That's so many youthful years that have slipped through their fingers because they was with someone that intuitively they knew were not right from the beginning, from I do. It's important to make those right decisions in your life because they are very impactful. Don't settle. And that's something I tell my children all the time. There's no need to settle. Like I said, I'm fortunate, blessed, favored to have the type of husband that I have. But he's not the only best thing that I ever had. He's the best out of the best. But I've always attracted great people, great men. Always. Anybody that knows me in real life will tell you, always. And that's because I always knew what my worth was. So people that settle, to me, you don't know your own worth. You're not even in tune with yourself to know what you truly are worthy for. And there is someone out here for everyone. So you don't have to settle. When people see you settling, they'll be like, what's really going on with her? Or what's really going on with him? Because if you feel that that's all that you are, worthy of, then that's all that you are worthy of. But I'm just very fortunate to have had a mother that had intuition, and she didn't just keep it to herself. She shared it with me. I was obedient, and I heard, I listened, I understood. And it made my intuition even that much stronger. And, you know, again, like I said, I talk to my children all the time about different things, not just about, you know, whatever relationships and stuff, but I talk to them all the time. And I love every stage of their lives so far, from infancy to toddler to adolescence, teenagers, now young adults. I love it. Every moment, every step, every stage. And my conversations have always shifted according to their age and stage. And now, as young adults, when I'm talking with them, when my husband is talking with them, I can see them really taking it all in. Now, my center child, who, all my children, they have aspects of me, but especially my girls. But my center child, what? That one? She is most like me most of all. And sometimes I can see, you know, she takes it in, but she wants to have arrived already because she has a lot of success in many areas. And, you know, we know you never arrive, but I still have those conversations with her regardless. Don't ever give up on your children. Don't ever give up on yourself. Okay? Oh, boy. I'm telling you, people love to park close. There's so many other parks. I'm looking right at them, and this is car chat and all that. Remember, practice so hard. Practice every day. So when you get in, you will win. I am Coach Sherry.